Did you know that your brain is constantly processing thousands and thousands of information every second of every day? Some of this information can be as irrelevant as some of the posters you saw on your way home, the food you ate that morning, the errand you ran that morning, or some of them can really be as irrelevant as the names of some of your friends. Let's face it, some of them are really, really annoying. In fact, the brain is so good that it can store as much information word by word as that is written in Wikipedia. Now, here is the big question: why do students find it hard to study? Or why can't students retain information that they have actually read? Now, after studying maybe a page yesterday, only for you to wake up the next day and notice that you have actually forgotten 80% of what you have read, but you can actually forget that same grocery they sent you yesterday. And it's really frustrating because these are information that you actually want to keep in your memory, but still yet you have no way of retaining this information. And students keep asking themselves this same question: why is it hard to study? Now, this is a question that has been asked from generation to generation, and some of them have labeled themselves a procrastinator or lazy student, and some of them are just really frustrated. Now, the reason why most students can't retain information or why most students can't read is because there is actually a science to the way our brain stores information, and if you don't actually go through this science, your brain will actually store this information, or most likely to store the information, and after a long time it will just trash out this information. The ability to read, remember, and also make decisions all comes from the science of processing information in our brains. So in this video, I'm going to answer all of your questions, and I'm also going to give you the science in which you can use to retain information for a longer period of time. The first tip I'm going to give you is the brain science. Now, whenever you are new to studying or you've actually been studying for a long time, your brain is like a machine which actually adapts to that your particular style of studying. After your brain has actually adapted to that style, I think you want to use it for a long time. Now, one thing that a lot of students do is after adapting to a style of studying, they quickly see that you're not actually making much improvement, and the next thing they want to do is to jump into another style. Maybe they have a scholar in their class who is actually really good and they want to actually jump into a way of studying, and this is actually going to cause a strain on your brain because your brain isn't really adapted to that kind of person study. So you trying to just change it, you will notice that you are going to spiral down quickly because your brain needs more time to adapt to that new set of information. So whenever you have a new set of information, I think you should stick to it and keep studying. Changing your study technique, to me, it's not really bad because I think it's a way that you make your brain explore different technique and find out which one is best for you. But the problem that most students do is that after settling down with a technique, they find out that this technique isn't working for them instantly, and they try to switch and they try to switch and they try to switch. So they keep switching, and this causes a major strain on your brain that at the end of the day, you eventually find out that you are getting worse and worse, and the worst part is you won't actually retain any information. So when you have a study technique, once you are sure that this study technique is good for you, try to explore, yeah, good and fine. But once you are sure that this technique is good for you, then just double down on that technique. Even though it takes you a long amount of time before your brain adapts to it, just double down and keep going, and trust me, your brain will adapt to it and you will keep retaining information more and more. If you're actually a student that is having problem creating or coming up with a study technique, don't worry because I have a video right here that you can watch, and I'll link it in the comment section below. And trust me guys, this video is really going to help you improve and stick to a study plan. So with that being said, let's science away. Seriously guys, it sounded really cool in my mind. Well, I guess I'll see myself out. Now, the next science to retaining information is called attention. The brain uses a certain filtering mechanism called attention to prioritize certain stimuli over another. Now, this helps us to focus on what is important and also to help in decision making. An interesting fact is that attention is not actually a fixed resource. It can be trained and actually improved by various cognitive exercise and practice. For instance, engaging in active learning technique like hand-on experiment and self-explanation can actually optimize your brain to retain more information. And this can also help you to recall information. Now, the next science to retaining information is called emotion. Now, studies have shown that information that is associated with emotion is actually going to last longer in the brain. That is why up till now you can actually still forget your first breakup, you can still forget your last boyfriend, and so on, even though those information has happened for a pretty long time. Now, because those information are associated with a very strong emotion that you feel, it's going to last a very long time. So whenever you are studying, try to associate that studying or that particular activity with an emotion in you, and this will actually help you retain that information for a long time. Now, the next science to retaining information is actually called sleep. Now, studies have shown that During your sleep state, your brain tends to strengthen those neural connections that is usually formed when you are studying, and this helps to solidify this information. I said in my previous video, whenever you read something for the first time, your brain stores this information in a short-term memory. Now, in order for your brain to take this information and store it in a long-term memory, you need to be in a state of sleep. Now, during the sleep period is where lots and lots of activities in your body are going to take place. Now, if you're a bodybuilder, during the sleep state is where your body is actively repairing those little micro tears that you have in your body. Now, if you're a student, during sleep, that is when the body starts to store those information that is stored in the short-term memory into the long-term memory. That is why whenever you're studying, it's always advisable to take a little bit of nap, maybe 2-3 minutes nap. You just want to take in just a little bit of rest, because then your brain is able to store this information, but it is more pronounced whenever you're sleeping. So during your state of sleep, usually the REM state, your brain takes this information and store them in the long-term information. Last science I'm going to give you is active recall, or what we call spaced repetition. Now, this is something that has helped me a lot, as in so many times. Now, active recall is just a process where you keep reading information over and over again with just a little interval between them. Maybe after studying today, then you can take 3 days off, then you study that same material, then take 1 week off, then you study that same material, then take 2 weeks off. That's just what we call spaced repetition. Now, the importance of spaced repetition is that it actually helps your brain to connect these new neurons that are associated with this particular activity or this particular knowledge stronger. Now, the stronger those neurons, or the stronger the bond, the more you're able to retain this information. So each time you keep reading that information, you would make this information or this neuron stronger together, and it makes that information easy to recall within a flash, and you can remember this information anywhere and anytime. So this is really helpful, and it has helped me a lot. Now, most people see it as a waste of time, and sometimes I do agree, because you keep reading something over and over again. Sometimes I think I have a disorder or something when I'm actually reading of information over and over again. But then again, it's actually really helpful because it has made me retain information for a long time. Now, I'm the kind of person that whenever I read, I tend to forget a lot. Like, when people ask me, how do you retain information, I'm like, seriously, the truth is that I just keep reading that information over and over again. I can read information today and still read it again the next day, and it's just something that has really grown on me, and I think it has really helped me to retain information for a long time. Thank you guys for watching this video. And also, like I said, if you have a problem with creating a study technique or coming up with a study technique, so I'll leave the video in the description box below, and you can check that video because it's actually a step-to-step guide on how to create your own study technique. So thank you guys for watching once again, and if you like this video, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell to get more content from me when I release them. I'll see you guys in the next one.